Duluth is right around the corner.
Yeah,
Duluth
is going fast. Very, especially with this little bit of snowfall we've had. It kind of really puts in perspective how close it's coming and how much more work we have to do yet. But I'm excited body-wise and mentally. I feel awesome. So super pumped on that wise. It's just to get everything physically handled and done and get it here to get on the snowmobiles.
Absolutely. So how do you feel about this upcoming race season?
I feel good. You know, with Arctic Cat's little ordeal and us just riding last year's sleds, it's kind of the first time I've ever done it. I feel like there's been years in the past people have said they've done it where they go into Duluth on the previous year's sled, and we don't have to worry about that New Year sled deal at Duluth. That's when everyone finds their issues. We can go and drop the hammer and have a good Duluth this year on a good sled that we know is going to work good and don't have to worry about any weird failures or anything we didn't find testing. We know it works, we know it's going to run good, and we can just hopefully start on top of the podium and run with that red plate.
Absolutely. So you're going into this year with more confidence, you feel like, than at least
Yeah, I think so. Like I say, running a last year's sled where we have our suspension dialed, we know where we're starting, it's not a whole new chassis or anything like that. So yeah, the confidence is there for sure in the snowmobile. We know they work, and we know Arctic Cat knows what they're doing behind it to make it work. So I'm very confident in the sled and my body and mentally wise for sure.
Excellent. Yeah, you mentioned like all the changes that Arctic Cat's been going through, and they've done a lot of different things in a short time span recently. And like how have you felt that? Like how's that impacted you and your path forward?
It has affected me. I've looked at other options many different times and wondered why we're sticking it out, because it seems like one day or something good happens and it's all good, and then the next week something else happens and you're just like, oh, why am I still like here? But right now, month and a half before Duluth, I'm pumped we stuck it out, stuck with Arctic Cat. I think it'll be a good thing, and I think there'll be good things in the future coming from Arctic Cat. So I'm glad we kind of stuck behind them. A lot of guys moved, and they're gonna have that year where they got to get used to a sled and stuff, and I don't want to risk that, having that year where you blame it on trying to get used to the sled. I know what Arctic Cats are, I know what they like, I know what I like, and how we can make it work with Arctic Cat. So I'm glad we stuck through. But yeah, it was definitely a up and down roller coaster all summer long. And
there was some turbulence there, like not just in the race season, like the race scene, but company-wide.
Yeah.
There were some gray areas that, we all kind of had to work through, and I know that from the general public, there are a lot of eyes on the race program, because I think with just 2 manufacturers, the race program wouldn't exist, wouldn't survive that, so.
No, and a lot of people were scared of that when the race department did shut down for that Friday and reopened that Monday. There was a lot of people speculating, and Snocross probably would have only been around for another year or two if it was only 2 brands, so. I'm glad Textron kind of stepped up and helped Arctic Cat. And I mean, I don't know all the details either, but it seems like you just know the bad stuff because that's what everybody likes to talk about.
Oh yeah, like the rumor mill really takes off in a hurry, especially over negative news and people get in a panic. So
for sure, but no, I'm at this point of the summer fall off season, I'm excited for Arctic Cat and excited to be with Arctic Cat. And we've lost some really good people, but I'm still confident in the people that are there and excited for things to come.
Absolutely. Yeah, and you mentioned people are moving around, and there's the field, it seems a lot different this coming season than it did last season. So how do you feel about that?
I'm excited. I'm excited for the up and coming riders. And I can say it because I was that kid too, but coming from the semi-pro class, and if you had a good semi-pro year, you think, oh, the pro, we can just be top 5 right away, and it's definitely not that easy. And I like to think of myself as one of the more experienced riders, and I just teach those young kids that it's not that easy, and you got to train and you got to take this job serious. So, but I'm excited. That seems like the numbers are going to be up this year in the pro class.
That's cool.
Kind of higher than what they've been. We lost a couple guys. I always liked battling with like Tim and stuff, but it'll still be good. And with Dan moving over and Trent, it'll be different seeing those guys on different colors, but it's fun they're still around and we're able to make something work for themselves.
Absolutely. So what kind of things are you doing to prepare for this upcoming season?
Well, I stuck with my same trainer, John Wessling, for the last few years now, and it's been going really good. He's got a cool background, he's from Minnesota, lives in Southern California, so he's got kind of a different mental state than a normal Snocross people do, so it's fun to get that kind of refresh, and he seems up to date with all the training stuff. And a lot of the stuff we do is basic, old school, the way you'd lift weights and running and biking, but just kind of a fresh aspect to getting in the training and doing that old school stuff in a fresher way. But so that way it's been going awesome, and got married this summer. So
yeah, congratulations on that. Thank you. It's very exciting.
So all my meals are cooked for me now, so I don't have to stress about that. So that's a lot easier. And but no, things have been clicking away this summer that have just kind of, besides Arctic Cat's turbulence there, everything else has been going super smooth. So that kind of makes your mental state a lot cleaner, fresher, simpler going into the season. I think that'll help a lot.
Perfect.
So
looking back on last season and the season before, what do you think like the differences, like what kind of did you experience, and learning from those experiences, how are you going to carry that forward to this coming season?
Yeah, so 2 years ago, I'd say it was my best season in the pro class, and probably the best season I've ever rode. And that was when we came up with the kind of different stuff on the snowmobile, and the Arctic Cats were really good sleds. And so that helped regain the confidence, because throughout the seasons in my pro career, I still haven't had that season that I want, and that one was touching the surface of it. So that got my confidence back to where it needed to be, that I know I can be up there, belong up there. And then last season, we struggled right away with the sled there the first couple races, and then once we switched some things around and hopped back on the previous year's sled, we were right back there. We were getting podiums and fighting for the wins and stuff. So this year we'll be back on for sure a podium winning contention sled. So that confidence I had from 2 years ago was right back there, that knowing I can do it, and with the sled we got, and excited for knowing what we have is going to work.
Perfect. Yeah, we're all, I'm glad that you stuck it out with Arctic Cat, and I think a lot of other people are too. And
yeah,
we're excited to see you push and reach your full potential. And like like you were saying earlier, we have a sled now that you feel confident on. And
yeah.
What do you think that it takes to make a good rider great?
I've learned so much throughout the years practicing, training with Tucker. We're good friends throughout the year. It's not just a winter deal. And I've learned so much from him, the way he trains and approaches everything. So I think just a lot of working with him, a lot of the testing and helping I've done with Arctic Cat, and learning how to communicate things properly, and talking to like Betsy, and even just on the practice track more so than at the races, on how to communicate, how to suspension and that kind of stuff, what we're working with, and how I can communicate what I'm trying to get out to her or to the Arctic Cat guys. I think each year I'm able to progress in a positive aspect, making the sled positive rather than double guessing what I'm saying and what I'm feeling. There's an easier way to comprehend that to them, which I think has helped make the sled better, which then makes me feel better that I can do what I've wanted to do in my head. And I think learning that little stuff, and then just finding the little tricks on the track that can't give secrets away, not that there really is any, but just trying to find those different lines and figuring out how to make different lines work. And that's why, at the end, Tucker was so good, is he had so much more experience than all of us younger guys. I think growing up with training with Tucker, I've got the mindset now that it's like snowcross is number one priority. I don't want to get hurt doing something like that. I'll go on trail rides and I'll do the cross country rides, but I'm able to control myself a little bit, where if I go in the mountains and I don't know what I'm doing, I could very easily hit a tree and break my arm because I hit a tree or something.
For sure.
Trail riding and cross country riding I've grown up doing, so I kind of can control myself a little bit there. Knowing too much is too much and whatnot, but my main focus has always been snowcross, so I don't want to do anything that will affect that. But
absolutely.
But I know it's always good to have fun and change it up too. So
cross train.
Exactly.
Looking back on last season, I know it was outside the snowcross circuit, but my favorite event was Alexandria, the US XC cross country race, because a lot of the snowcross guys showed up.
Yep.
It was fun to watch you race Zach and Wes. So how did you feel about that race? Would you consider doing something like that again?
I'd love to do that thing again. That race was super cool. It was fun. It was just kind of going up and down the hills at Lake Geneva. So it was, and we had just done that race a couple weekends beforehand, so it was fresh to me, and it was super cool. It was fun to be able to race a snowcross sled that I'm comfortable racing on for so long, where those guys race cross country sleds, so sometimes when I go to a cross country race, it's completely different. So to race the snowmobile I was used to was awesome, and it was a fun, cool track, unique setup, and I liked it. And the snowcross sled was a little quicker than the cross country sled, so that helped my game a little bit. But no, that was super fun, and I'd for sure want to do something like that again.
Where do you want to see yourself going in snowcross?
I've got a few more years. I feel good, and I don't think of ever retiring or being done yet. The thoughts always come in your head, especially after bad races, but right now, the way I feel, the way my body feels, even, after Lake Geneva, after a few days after Lake Geneva, I feel totally fine again, so it's not like it's taking me all summer to recover. So I see, I don't want to say quite a few, but a few more years for sure. But I definitely am not satisfied with how I've finished the previous years. I haven't accomplished goals I want to accomplish yet.
What are some of those goals?
Winning races, being consistently at the top. I'm pretty much now to the point in my career where it's just the blunt, I want to win.
Absolutely.
It's not I want to get a top 5 and stay healthy. I want to risk it all for a win. So that's what I'm here to do, and that's what I want to do. So.
And that's why I asked you that progression question, what does it take to make a rider from good to great? Because you see guys, making their way through the semi-pro class or the lights class, and then making that jump, into the pro class. And you've obviously done that and done very well. And I think that's something that, like you said, experience is. Experience,
and you got to have
that mindset that you're talking about with Tucker too, or snowcross is your life. That's what you're doing. You got to chase those goals.
Yeah, exactly.
Winning feels good, and chase that feeling.
Yep.
Yeah.
You can't be afraid to get hurt or think of that, because when you start thinking about that kind of stuff, that's when it always happens. It's easy for people to look at it and say, well, don't you just hold it wide open, or can you just go and hold it wide open? And it's so much more than that. And until you actually race at the pro sport level, you'll never know that feeling. And I think that's a good thing that helps us people in general with life. I think racing is a great thing to start out life as, because you learn so much from it. It's all on you. It's not like a high school sport where you can bank on your friends or you can bank on it's you on the track, and you're the only one responsible for how your outcome goes. And so I think that's a cool thing about racing too, is what you learn just for the rest of life after racing too.
Kind of rely on yourself and take responsibility for your actions.
Exactly, yep. So.
It kind of ties back to what we were talking to before, it's all on you to, I think, a certain extent, but you have to have a good,
for sure,
sled to back
good
it up,
sled
and that comes
good
back on
team,
people like me, and we got to make sure we got
so get your shit figured out.
You got it. I think I heard Roger say once that and maybe you've heard the same speech, but he takes it personally when a racer doesn't win because the equipment let him down, and because it's at that point it's not on the racer, it's our fault as Team Arctic Cat. We should have been one step ahead and catching those things so that the racer can meet his full potential. Yeah,
and that's where I think back to the progression thing too, where I've progressed, is when that stuff happens. Now it's, to me, I'm looking at it as helping you guys out, is what was I doing the laps before that would have made that week, or what's different about this track that I broke here or not elsewhere and stuff. So I think that's a good thing to progress on too, is when failures come, not to get pissed and dwell on it, but make sure it doesn't happen again, and work with you guys and communicate that stuff with, well, I did hit this bump weird and that felt a little funky after that, so I won't think that's why I broke here. And if something broke in a corner and you can think back 3 jumps ago, well, it acted weird here, instead of people wondering why did it break in this corner. Learning how to communicate that stuff is key, and helps you guys out, and in return that helps us out for the next race or future races.
Well, and not just the next snowcross sled either, but a lot of what we learn through racing, snowcross and cross country, just expands out into the other platforms too. And I think that's why racing is really important. Yeah. And I'm really glad that ArtCat chose to stick around this year, because it's
can learn a lot. So
we learned so much.
Take that for note that we need mod sleds back so we can help these guys sell sleds.
Yes, that is absolutely 100%. There's no other environment more harsh than snowcross or cross country.
There isn't.
It's invaluable learning, especially when people like you are riding the sleds and you know exactly what it's doing, and you can give really valuable, meaningful feedback. Yeah.
The schedule looks good this year, so.
What are you looking forward to the most?
I don't know. Every one of them has their pros and cons. Duluth is always fun because it's Duluth and it's the first race, but I've never really had good luck at Duluth.
This year's different.
This year will be different for sure.
Sled.
And then Glendon's fun. I've podiumed there numerous times, and it's local and kind of the home track. And Canterbury's obviously a big one because that's got the biggest crowd and stuff. And then they all have their pros and cons. In Michigan, I've always kind of struggled there, but then had the luck to get on the podium. Like I've never raced at Michigan and been like, yeah, I feel awesome. It's just kind of happened to where I get on the podium. It's just like, all right, sweet, I'll take it. Not that I want to race that way by any means, but just sometimes that's how racing is.
Sure.
So, but no, they've all got their cool aspects. And Deadwood, a lot of guys don't like it. It's kind of grown on me. Just you get in that bull ring and you just kind of grab throttle and try to push people out of the way. It's kind of a that one you kind of just got to forget some of the rules and just go for it because it's all you can do if you don't get to start. So that one's kind of got that aspect, which in the same sense you don't want that happening to you, so then it makes it not fun when it does happen to you. But they're all fun, and it's kind of fun. We've got such a wide range of tracks. It's not like we're just stuck on bull rings all winter.
Yep.
Huge long tracks like Lake Geneva where we all get kind of separated. It's fun to have the mix where
it takes a different skill set at each
yeah
track. Where do you feel the best?
I don't know. I feel like it varies. Like last year I felt really strong at Geneva, and I never feel that strong at Geneva. And I like the rougher tracks, the deeper hole tracks, like Canterbury's always been a good one.
Technical.
Yep. The faster and the kind of smoother they are, I seem to kind of not be as quick as some people, but I always like the technical, jumpier tracks. So those are the ones I shine at, but I've progressed and gotten better at what I've been weak at. So hopefully this year we can even cruise more on that and get up there. But I think that's where cross country has helped me a lot out in my career, is those faster tracks and the faster tracks with sweeping corners, and like the Lake Genevas or the Canterbury's coming around the start corner. It's always that fast sweeper corner and stuff. Kind of helps there.
Yeah, for sure.
Picks up. So we do it for fun, but there's also learning aspect to racing cross country too.
Thanks for taking the time to chat with me
that
about
was
your plans.
cool.
So. Hey guys, thanks for checking out my interview with Logan. Be sure to follow along his season by going to snocross.com for the schedule, subscribe to this channel, and check out thefastwolf.com for all things fast. And I'll see you out there.